Easy Explain Epicureanism, part one of a four-part series. Today we're just going to be looking at introductions. So what is Epicureanism, who was Epicurus, and what's going on here? So Epicureanism is named after the ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus, right? Living back in Greece from approximately 340 BC. He died in, we think 270 BC. Very old records. So this is quite a while ago, quite some time ago. So one of these, big ancient Greek philosophers coming right after the times of Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Epicurus came a little bit after. But just like Plato, he had his own school. Plato's school is famously known as the Academy. Epicurus's was known as the Garden. And unlike Plato, who had it in the city of Athens, right, in the city life, ancient Athens, Epicurus decided to move his school outside the city limits of Athens. He liked the quiet life. That was actually a big part of his philosophy, to withdraw from the crowds and the masses and the many. He thought that being in all this hustle and bustle, that was not conducive to actually practicing philosophy, more particularly his philosophy, Epicureanism. So his main goal was to find what he called ataraxia, which is, roughly translates to peace of mind. And for him, for Epicurus, peace of mind was the highest pleasure, right? This was the goal, to attain peace of mind. And this is where we get some muddled grounds. Pleasure for Epicurus isn't what you might think. It's really just the absence of pain, right? He's pretty much equating with pleasure as good, not being in a state of pain is good, and pain, the absence of pleasure, or being in a state of pain, and that's bad. So pleasure is just things that are good, things that are in the right? This is what our goal is. This is what we're trying to do here. So this is kind of actually a problem for us nowadays. Nowadays, a lot of people tend to think of Epicureanism as this kind of hedonistic philosophy where you're just obsessed with food and drink, right? Just the pleasure of stuffing your face, or promiscuity. But that's actually not how Epicurus lived. That was not his lifestyle. That's not what he taught. He actually, one of his highest virtues was actually prudence, which we'll get to later on in this series. So really, to attain this pleasure, to attain this ataraxia, pleasure of the mind, right? Pleasure of the mental states, this peace of mind, he recommended following what he called his four-part cure. I'm going to abbreviate that here as the FPC. And here it is right here. Number 1, don't fear the gods. Number 2, don't worry about death. Number 3, what is good is easy to get. And number 4, what is terrible is easy to endure. And that's the Epicurean four-part cure. So according to Epicurus, if you could believe in these 4 tenets, right, in these 4 foundational beliefs, that would lead to ataraxia. That would lead to peace of mind, the highest pleasure, right? Total tranquility in your mental state. This was the remedy for anxiety. This was the way to live your life peacefully and therefore good, right? Living your life peacefully was the good life for Epicurus. So this is his path, right? Follow the FPC. That'll lead to ataraxia. That's peace of mind. And by extension, in the Epicurean philosophy, this is the highest pleasure, right? This is living the good life. So next time we're going to look at the four-part cure a little bit more in depth, and we're going to look at some of the ways that Epicurus supported that, kind of taught how to do that, in addition to the why. Hope this helps.